A couple of drinks might do you good.
No, thanks.
Well, come along, Mr. Fletcher. All this talk of food is making me hungry. We won't have a chance to eat till after the meeting.
No.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Which hotel are you going to?
Oh, just down to the local. Food's quite good, though. Sure you wouldn't like to come?
No. No, thanks. I'm a bit tired, really.
Fair enough. How was the first day back?
Well, I think it went quite well. I managed to let the women know that the amnesty is over.
Amnesty?
Never mind. Good night.
And considering the fact that she's led a normal, even exemplary life for the past 6 years since she escaped.
And the fact that she turned herself in.
Well, precisely. To me, it's a perfect example of self-rehabilitation. It certainly doesn't warrant the severity of the sentence that was meted out to her. I mean, you're a legal man. You're a solicitor. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more.
Well, do you think there's anything that you and the PRG can do to help?
Yes. I think we can probably get a bit of pressure brought, rouse public opinion. Look, I'm in the chair tonight, so I want to get this meeting underway as soon as I can. We'll get through the main business as quickly as we possibly can, and we'll let you toss your little number to the group for open discussion.
Good.
Okay?
Thanks. I'd appreciate that.
Right. Okay, everybody, you'd like to grab a chair? Got a lot of business to get through tonight. Oh, we have a newcomer this evening, Mr. Jim Fletcher. He'll be addressing you a little later on.
In bringing this matter to your attention, I hope you won't just see it as an opportunity for, if you'll pardon the expression, sticking it up the authorities. I'm of the opinion, and your chairman agrees with me, that the sentence imposed upon Jackie Nolan was severe in the extreme. By coming here tonight, I hope to enlist your support for Jackie Nolan and to listen to any suggestions that you might have in getting the court's decisions reversed, particularly the additional sentence that was imposed. Thank you.
Well, does anybody have any ideas to put forward? Yes, Myra.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's pretty obvious from what Mr. Fletcher's told us that the Jackie Nolan case is a pretty urgent one. I think we should get onto it as soon as possible.
Who's the woman?
Myra Desmond. She's one of the prime movers for the PRG.
Yeah, I was speaking to her before the meeting started. Seemed like a pretty well-educated woman.
Oh, she is. She studied for her HSC at one of our more exclusive women's colleges.
Really?
Second
Which
that?
one?
Wentworth Detention Centre.
Mavis seconds. All those in favour? Against? Carry.
Right. Well, we'll work out the main drive once the committee's been formed. Meanwhile, I don't think it's going to do any harm to engage in a bit of softening up. Have a batch of posters printed, slapped up around the city, that sort of thing. Free Jackie Nolan.
Surely that's illegal without a permit of some kind.
Any objections, Mr. Fletcher?
What? No. No, of course not.
Fine. Well, I'll get onto that first thing in the morning. I've got a couple of friends in the printing business that owe me a favour.
They don't print funny money, do they?
Not anymore, Mrs. D.
Deaf or something? I can't hear myself think.
Don't tell me you're still writing that letter to Ellen and Josie.
Well, what have I...
Well, you've been at it for a week.
I just don't seem to be able to get started.
Well, why don't you try Dear Ellen and Josie?
Smart ass.
Anyone seen Tracy Morris?
Oh, come off it, Mrs. Jackson. She won't be finished yet. It'll take her a couple of days at least.
Well, finished what?
Miss Bennett put her on extra duties, and at the rate she's going, poor little love will be scrubbing away for the whole of next week.
Miss Bennett? I see.
Listen, what is it between you two?
Whatever it is, Miss Bennett doesn't like it. I never saw her pick on anyone so fast.
She seems to think you're protecting young Tracy.
Are you two talking about?
Well, like Lizzie said, the only reason we can see for the kid copping extra duties has got something to do with you. Tracy's acting as if her lips are sealed. So what's the big secret?
There's no big secret. If Tracy's done something wrong, then she has to be punished.
But she hasn't, has she, girls?
No, she never did anything.
Vera just jumped her, and as far as we can make out, it's got something to do with you.
Yeah, I don't reckon it's fair.
Doreen, Bev, Rita, you come with me.
Now maybe we'll find out what's going on.
What did she do?
I don't know. Must be something awful, though. Vera's really got it in for her. She says if she doesn't get it all done by tonight, she'll do the 3rd floor as well tomorrow night. I don't think the poor kid's got a hope in hell of finishing.
Tracy, why did Miss Bennett put you on extra duties?
I don't know, Mrs. Jackson. I really don't.
Very well. Well, I've brought you some help. I think you could use it.
Oh, please, you know what you said before.
You just get on with your work, Tracy, and you leave this to me. Now, before you do anything, there's something you all ought to know. I'm getting married soon.
Oh, gee, Mrs. Jackson, that's terrific. What's it got to do with us?
Well, I'm marrying Tracy's father. So you can understand why Tracy doesn't want you to think I'm doing her any special favours. I just want to make it clear that I am not ordering you to work.
So you want us to go back to the rec room?
I mean you can use your free time to do whatever you wish. It's up to you.
There's nothing much on telly anyway.
Well, come on, we haven't got all day. Especially you, Morris. You've got a job to do before the work bell goes. I suggest you miss breakfast.
Oh, that's all right, Miss Bennett. It's all done.
Both floors? Mm-hmm. I don't believe you. The rest of you get into breakfast. Now, listen to me. When I instruct you to do something, you do it.
It is done, Miss Bennett. Clean as a whistle. You ought to go and have a look at it yourself.
What's this got to do with you, Birdsworth?
Nothing. Only I couldn't help on account of me poor old Ticky, you know. Sorry.
I didn't instruct anyone to help.
Yeah, but Mrs. Jackson said we could volunteer.
You haven't heard the last of this, Morris.
Are you suggesting that Mrs. Jackson is giving Tracy Morris preferential treatment?
It's not like Meg, I know, but what other reason could there be for her behaviour? I was justified in giving Morris extra duties. The fact that Meg didn't countermand my orders bears that out. Instead, she coerced the women into volunteering to help, and they're not very happy about it either.
I've never known you to be worried about whether the women were happy or not before.
I'm not so stupid as to hand out punishment without proper justification. No, I'm only thinking of Meg and her record of service. It must be a terrible strain on her having to cope with a prospective stepdaughter amongst the inmates.
I'm sure Mrs. Jackson will be very grateful for your concern. Thank you, Miss Bennett. I'll take it from here. Oh, and would you bring Doreen Burns down, please? I'd like to have a chat with her.
Very well, Mrs. Davidson.
No, I reckon old Vinegar's up to something. How come she didn't bite our heads off?
Probably forgot to put her teeth in this morning.
I hope she doesn't make any trouble for Mrs. Jackson, that's all.
No, of course she won't. She better watch her step with Davo after what happened last time.
Hey, when did you say the wedding was, Tracy?
4 weeks Saturday.
Well, you better do yourself a favour and put in an application for leave if you want to get there.
Can I get leave?
You can apply for it. I reckon you stand a pretty fair chance.
Yeah, and we better start thinking about a wedding present.
You could always give them a pair of government sheets with built-in ventilation.
Then the department will be forced to replace them. And I don't think I could stand the luxury.
Hang on, that's not a bad idea.
What, give them these?
Nah.